Chosen ones. Let's talk. Yeah, I've been waiting way too long to come on here and join the party. I'm coming at from a way different angle. I have not seen any prophetic word on. I haven't seen any prophetic insight on, nor have I have anyone experience or debate this or it's not a debate. It's this is truth. I've been given spiritual gifts to see things as they play out. So I know many chosen ones and anointed are being severely attacked. I was in a marriage, had my kids taken by a woman that was my ex-wife, and I was gang stalked and all sorts of witchcraft done. Death rituals, graveyard magic, and I didn't know what the hell was hitting me, but it unlocked gifts because I survived a lot of attacks, and just recently one came last night. So I've been seeing these things ramp up in the realms of the spirit and the supernatural witchcraft of the stars, a triangular, and they roll in, like it defeats all odds, or it defeats everything that you've been told about how the way the earth works. These stars rolled in triangular formation, and they empower supernatural witchcraft attacks by ritual blood sacrifices, satanic altars in the lower heavens, and they come to seek, kill, and destroy. I've had my blood boiling. I've been attacked where my body is just limp from a supernatural attack, and it feels like it's like electromagnetic frequency hitting you. Your blood starts boiling, and you start. I even smelt my flesh burning. So these things come down, and this is nationwide. So that comes down. The stars beam down these supernatural witchcraft attacks, and that formulates. And I've literally seen these things, the things chattering like, you hear these beetles. They call them the dung beetles or whatever beetles they are. No, they come in every 10, 15 years. No, that's them. I'm here to tell you. There's witchcraft in the trees, the genetically modified satanic invested beings that are interdimensional in the trees, and I've been seeing them for years, and this is gonna wake up a lot of people, because I've seen unnatural quiet in the neighborhoods where they just have taken over with mind manipulations, and I've seen these things, and they are within the trees of our earth. All of our trees are infested with this genetic abomination from the pits of hell. I watched a moon come in, a ancestral attack, or a supernatural celestial ancestral attack. And I've watched the moon several times just rise up and stay right above my house and doesn't move, and it's empowering the attack. And all the lights get super bright, and the cohorts, these demonic hybrids or these demonic walking human demons, what have you, or any witch, wizard, or warlock, high priest, priestess, stargazer, skygazer, whatever you want to call it, necromancers, any cohorts of the Dark Kingdom that have transferred and made an oath or a transfer for that power. I've seen them hyperspace during spiritual warfare, speaking in tongues in their cars. I've seen them teleport away from me. Um, I see the strongholds in every gas station on up to big businesses, and I've had a very hard time, even with good skill sets, working in the field because of this. The devil literally jumps from people around me, and all of a sudden, I got this unnatural attack because the devil is using people around me, jumping, whispering to things in their ear, and I see these spirits, these parasitic loads on people's heads, and they come right on out when I'm in the presence because they can't hide from me. I'm mirroring them up, and I see them weighing on the people's thought processes, and I see their faces, expressions change, erratic change, and it takes damn near sometimes full possession of these people. It's sad, especially if they're narcissistic or those are a beacon for these things. They just jump on in, party on. But I've literally had a supernatural experience through this, and not knowing, my last girlfriend, she was secretly doing work on me, and I should have known better. And I believe she made an oath with a stronghold because that land is cursed. I watched this legion rise up from the ground with Belial, Amalek, Molech, Jezebel, Leviathan, Azaroth, and all these ancient demons and ancient enraged marine spirits, just huge with a horn and the spirit, and they poke you in the feet and to make your blood boil. I've been through some serious curses, and I broke them, by the grace of God's mercy upon me. It took like a month and a half for that thing to break, and it my ex being down the road, she was staying down the road at a neighbor's place, and now it's literally killing the owner down there. The whole land's cursed. And last time I went down there just to see if they were still alive, and I witnessed in the spirit, I don't know if it was a ritual attack with this curse, but I witnessed straight up werewolves. One of the head being 15 foot tall with like 24 to 30-inch foot size. I've been chased right on out of my place into my around my hometown there, and these things take full control at nighttime. It's unrealistic. It's like a dimension on their own. I've seen also the devices of the crafty. I can see them projecting, and they had my car marked in the spirit, and they literally dimensionally shifted me in a big city where I was going to a friend's house, and the roads would turn into another road, and my GPS was scrambled. I knew where I was, but I literally teleported or went through a portal, and my GPS was scrambled, and all the streets didn't match up, and there was no houses for a little ways, all dark. And I'm looking back, and this ancient witch-looking thing is in my back window projecting with a device, and every minute or so another portal would hit, and it literally ran damn near a half tank of gas out of my car. I'm here to tell you, no hallucinations, none of that shit. This is straight up supernatural witchcraft. So astral projections I'm talking about. You'll notice all the portals, which is the lights, they can bounce from portal to portal from people's dwellings if they're not marked and sealed by the blood covenant of the Lamb, anointed, sanctified, and blessed. Your portals of your lights. Your refrigerator is another big one. They'll contaminate the food in the spirit. Just, but main thing, your doors, window seals, ground up. These things jump from house to house, and they'll continue the attack. I could drive 120 trying to get away from it, and there's no escaping it because they can just jump from house to house to house and attack until you're destroyed. Your energy, your blood's boiling. These attacks are serious, and it's powered by the moon. And I watched the moon come down a few times and spit thousands, hundreds or thousands of these beings that are insect-like to human-like, shapeshifter, interdimensional, and they're invisible to the naked eye, but I'm able to see them more so than not. This is what is unleashed on this earth. And I'm telling you, get your shit together. Get it together. And believe me, being the amount of evil, parasitic loads that are here. Take my word for it. There's nothing out there like it. I've been gifted to see these things, and finally, it's about well past overdue. I need to get this out there. So they've taken over the occults, the covens, and I've never been a part of that crap. I've always believed in God, Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior. It strengthens me and guides me. Greater is He that is in me than He that is in the world. Through Christ Jesus, I'm a conqueror of all things. One with God is greater than Satan. All the world within the evil is lesser than. Period. Blessed be the Lord thy God. That's where I stand. But I'm here to tell you that there's strongholds that have taken over in the realms of the spirit. Every store, every fast food joint, every GM-like factory. They've been using the grid, producing these weapons, producing these interdimensional cars in the spirit. I've literally watched. I'm not even going to tell you the other half of the story that I've seen, because what I'm giving you right now is too much for you to chew up and spit out. I guarantee it. These things are a giant in the realm of the spirit, and my spirit's been stretched beyond driven. So I hope this gets out there. I'm going to pay for a little bit of advertisement, and this is the first of many videos to come out exposing the dark things and agendas of the devil. And to the good men and women out there, or business owners, I'm going to be giving keys and lifting gifted spiritual incentives, insight that I've been getting downloads in the spirit for. We are all blessed in different ways, and the battle is very diverse, and it is very wild, and the devices of the crafty are many. This particular thing, I have not seen people talk about it, and I've been far too long holding on to this information. I've survived all these attacks, and I'm ready to fight to the death. I've had like CIA looking planes flying over my house daily, nightly. I've had star looking Really bright though, like bright orange or bright white or yellow, and they fly right up and they'll come right down in my woods. And they empower these attacks when my spiritual warfare starts speaking in tongues and going to war with these things. I'll notice these planes be flying over. The demonic hybrids be flying back and forth in their cars, trying to keep this battle rocking. And the star beings, they come down in the woods to empower these things. I've literally watched their heads go all back, and the stars beam down dark stars, dark angels that didn't come to and fro to their appointed times. And that was 1/3 of the heavens that got cast out with Satan. I'm going to say that right now. They empower these attacks, and it is what it is. This is supernatural insight, supernatural fight. I just went through a nasty one last night. I had to stay up all through the night fighting this thing off, stretching from tree to tree like a spiritual giant. And the incantations or divinations, enchantments. Well, these are supernatural rituals. And going on in the lower heavens, where a triangular supernatural star witchcraft, and there are several stars in triangles, 1, 2, 3, in triangle, and they come up and they stay right above, and they empower these trees for a witchcraft, silver string of witchcraft attack, and these satanic altars are being constantly built back up in all the territories surrounding, empowering these attacks, and it's relentless, and you'll notice the atmosphere once you start getting the upper hand. Once God says enough, you notice it'll start dying down. I've been able to feel the attacks come in, and I've been able to engage right on time and know when to disengage when. But pray without ceasing is pretty much the best thing until you can't go no more than God. It's grace and mercy. She'll take you the rest of the way. Saith the Lord. All right, God bless everyone. Hope this reaches out. Talk soon.